me to see it prior. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Excellent. All right. Drop you guys down just a touch-a-roo. Put you over there. Gonna be really cool, guys. Let's go live over on Facebook. And you guys, you gotta let me know where you're watching from. And what time is it where you are right now? Now, this is a literally, quote-unquote, literally every single step tutorial, right? So we have a black canvas. We just took it out of the wrap, bought it black from the store, right? If you don't have black canvas, then you can use our Liquitex black gesso. It's much more watery than regular acrylic black paint. So you gotta use the gesso, okay? So we have our dry canvas, and now we're gonna take our liquid clear and just dip in about 1/4 inch. That's all you ever need, right? Wipe off some of that excess because we always get too much on the brush. And then we can come in here and just kind of spread it out all over the place. And that way, when we go to blend it all together, I can already tell I've got way too much on here. Probably like you have experienced as well, right? You've probably put too much paint on the canvas before, and that's okay. We're gonna go back and wipe off our excess anyway. We always wipe off the excess just in case we put on too much, right? In this instance, we put on too much just to show you that it'll be very grippy on our brush, right? It takes a lot to spread that paint out because we put on a little bit more. And it's when it comes out of the tube or out of our jar, it's very sticky, like syrup, right? But the more that we spread it out, the more slippery it gets, right? The slipperier that it gets. So, like I said, check in. Let me know where you're watching from. What time is it right now where you are in this wide world of ours? Where can you be? Right? Now, we know our canvas is too wet because we probably put on too much like you've done in the past. Right? Perfectly fine. We all do it. And even old ugly Paint with Josh does it every once in a while, right? We'll come out here. Really lot of pressure. Lots of pressure. Push on the canvas. Get that stuff off. Have you ever had the bits of your paper towel break off and stay onto the canvas? Use different paper towels. I like the Viva brand because they seem to drop the least amount of bits. And I'm scrubbing hard, right? I'm not scrubbing it back and forth. We're pushing with a lot of pressure to get that excess paint off. Now, I was watching an old Bob painting earlier today, and it kind of inspired me to try this little jungle-y scene out, right? So what we're gonna do first, we only need a few colors, literally just a handful. What we're gonna do first is grab our sap green. We're gonna cover our canvas with sap green, but not too much, right? We don't wanna have too much sap green onto our canvas, otherwise it'll be too green, right? We want to retain some of that darkness. So, let's get out here. We got a little bit of our cad yellow, a little bit of our yellow ochre, a little bit of our sap green. I just didn't want any of this liquid white down in there from our paintings the other day. It could still be wet. Yeah, it was, and that would be way too bright on our black canvas, right? So the sap green is like a semi-transparent color, meaning if you put on too much, it's gonna be really bright green, right? But if we spread it out and really blend it in, just like we would do with our sky. Right? Sit here and blend and blend and blend and blend and blend it. Sometimes you turn the brush on the side, just so you can get a little bit more pushing power, right? And down in there. And we gotta stop ourselves when we come up to the trees. You guys have to remind me to stop when we're doing the background, because it starts looking really cool, and then you want to do more and more and more. And if you get too far down, then you're not going to have enough room for our little watery, marshy, jungly area that's down here. Right? So scrub it on that green, scrub it out real good. Make sure we get it all over the place. Right? Lots of pressure, lots of repetitions. Okay, now you guys might be able to see all that bright green on the screens because we have all these lights in our studio, right? But in real life, it's very dark. You want it to be very dark anyway. You don't need it to be supremely bright. We're going to use some really bright colors, and we don't want all this darkness to go away, right? Now we're also going to get a little bit of our Van Dyke brown and our dark Sienna brown out onto our palette. I already have some dark Sienna, but let's get some Van Dyke out here. Old Van Dyke brown. Now Van Dyke brown is a darker color brown versus your lighter color brown, right? So if you're using raw umber and burnt umber, whichever one's the darker one that almost looks black versus its brighter brown counterpart, right? Take a little bit of this paint out here. I'm just gonna start to put it in the corners. We don't want to put on too much, so let's kind of deposit what we have down into the corners and just kind of work it in a little bit. Let it blend in with that green. Doesn't really need to do anything. All we need is a little bit darker corner than we have in our center area, which is all green and bright, right? So, doesn't need to be all crazy. Just mix it out like that. And I'm pretty sure that's what Bob did prior to starting his video. I'm almost positive, right? As long as we have a little bit of color across our entire canvas, wherever we interact with that brighter color, being our yellow or white, or whatever we use, is going to have something to interact with. If you don't have any dark color down on your canvas, then you put something bright up there, you're never gonna have anything, you won't be able to blend away because you have no darkness underneath. Now I'm gonna wash off this brush just because we're probably gonna use it later on. And we're really gonna only use a fan brush for the majority of our background today. Bob was using, he's watching the video and he's like, if you like a fan brush, or if you're not, comfortable with your fan brush, you're gonna get comfortable with it today. And I was like, I love using the fan brush. I use the fan brush for everything. Why have I not watched this video yet? And what can he do with this fan brush? And so, that's what we're gonna use today for our background. Now, full disclosure, okay, I did try this earlier today, and it worked out pretty good for the first try. I did it in like 15 minutes. We're going to try to make this one last a little bit longer just for you guys out here, all right? So, let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, right? Watching over on Facebook, make sure you're using all the little emojis at the bottom. You can send me the stars if you want. Alchemist is over here in Indiana, over on TikTok, right? So let me know where you guys are from out there. And we're going to come in. I tried it with my Paint with Josh brush actually the first time. You know what? Let's do it again. We can do it again. And I think my first go, I put on too much paint, right? Which is very easily doable. So we're just going to literally pull out pure cadmium yellow, our brightest yellow that we have, straight out of the tube, nothing added to it, pure cad yellow. We don't want a lot. I got to get down on my squat down here for this little guy, right? So we're just going to kind of smack against it and start creating little things, right? Just tapping, tapping, tapping against it, smushing the corner of the brush in first, right? So we're hitting that corner edge. If you push a little bit harder, you may drop more paint than you think you need. All right, now we're also trying to treat it almost like a cloud, where you have a bit of brightness, and then you can kind of tap into that brightness and work itself down, right? And let it get darker and darker and darker and darker and darker. It's all we really need to do. We don't want to have too much paint on our brush. So we go back here, a little bit more yellow, and we'll come over on this side, and just start deciding what do you think some tree shapes might look like out there, knowing that we need to keep our dark spaces in between. We need to have can't have all of our light touching all of our light, right? We can always go back and make it a little bit brighter. But we don't want it to be too bright out here, because as you come closer for your highlights, that's where you're gonna want that brightness, is in the highlights. So remember, let them get a little darker out here, mush them together I'm just tapping and moving the brush in different ways, right? Allowing it to darken itself out. And we'll come up here into that brightness and just tap it a bit more. Why is it going dull? Anybody out there? The difference? Why is it going dull? Can anybody tell me? Anybody alive? Is there anyone alive out there? Can anyone hear me? Well, keep checking, keep looking. I gotta go back and watch that again, right? Why is it getting more dull? Anybody? Anybody out there? Thank you guys for all the follows. I love you. I just love you. Hi, watching from El Paso, Holly Dragonfly Woman. Over there. Right? It's blending, right? It's blending with that green color that's underneath. That's what it's doing. So we're taking a very small bit. Remember, I used too much on the first one, and it was a little bit too dark, too bright in the background, right? So I kind of want to work into that. Maybe push and mush my little Paint with Josh fan brush, turning it all different ways to help it kind of blend its way down and get rid of some of that brightness, right? It doesn't need to be brightest everywhere. If you kind of smush up against it, you can create cool little things, right? If you go off the other way, you can create different little things. How do you want yours to look? That is what it's all about. And then we, just like a cloud, we work it from its bright, bring it down to dark, right? And then what do we do when we're doing clouds? We work it from its bright to its dark, and then pow, you pop in some new bit of brightness. Right? Just mushing and pushing with our little fan brush with some yellow paint. Literally it. No white, no nothing. Yellow paint with the green background. All we're doing. Every so often we get a couple little bits. Right? Maybe we come off of this guy. Let's turn our brush this other way. Kind of smack at it this way and have a couple little branchy bits popping out to the side. Right? Just by doing it differently, we get a little different look. Maybe we get a little bit different color or whatever. Right? It's all going to blend down and get darker and darker and darker as we go. Right? From the front edge backwards, because we're losing paint off of our knife. It's falling out, or off of our brush, excuse me. It's falling off of our brush and getting all lost in the night. I saw somebody comment on, I can't remember if it was on TikTok or where it was, but they said, man, I've been saying in the night, like way too much. And I'm like, yes, I love that. Thank you guys, appreciate you. Let's come over here and start popping in some more crazy bits, right? This one's just kind of full pressure against the thing, twisting the brush. Pop, 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 pop. Full pressure, trying to stay out of everybody's way. Come over here. Hiya! Right? All we're trying to do is make a little bit of brightness out there. What happens if we come in here and we sort of connect those little bits of brightness? Right? You can start building stuff that just falls out of nowhere, guys. Guys and gals and paint and pouch. Where do you want it to be? Want to have a couple little bright areas? Have a couple little bright areas. Don't make them too bright. Right? The more bright that they are, the more our foreground isn't going to stand out. We need our background to be a bit darker. Let me come up here too, just because. Just because we want to fill in that little bit of space up there, right? Nothing has to do anything. If we do touch certain areas, right, we just want to make sure there's a little bit of difference in between them is all. That's literally it. You don't have to play around much more than that. Doesn't that look like a little dragon head? That's cool. Give him some spikes up here. Cacao! Little dragon. I don't know. I see stuff when I'm painting. You guys ever do that? I tend to see stuff when I'm painting, and then I go, you know what? That's kind of cool. What if we made it look like that, or this, or whatever, right? Not everywhere out there is going to be as bright as everywhere else, right? If we brighten up some areas on the side or on the front edges, like we're hitting over here, then maybe we can start figuring out where our light is coming from. Right? Maybe off of this edge, we'll pop out a couple little doers, little hang-me-downs, little heres, little theres, little foliage, wherever you want them to be. Because, God, doesn't that look like a little dragon head, you guys? Seriously, am I the only one that sees that? Am I the only one that can see the dragon? The dragon. Oh my God, it's Holly Dragonfly Woman, the dragon. Thank you for that super thanks over there. You're amazing. You are awesome. Oh, I can actually like it right there. I appreciate you. Look at that, guys. Now, let's not go too far down past the middle of our canvas, right? Like I said, it starts looking really cool. And you're like, ooh, what if I came in like this and I had some more stuff over here? And then we put a couple little doers over there and a little bit over here and some stuff over there. Right? Maybe there's some grass. Just even with the Paint Josh fan brush, typing in that grass. Backing it up. Right over there, right? Like I said, let's not go past the middle of our canvas too far. And again, straight back into just pure cad yellow. Okay, if you want to change it a little bit of that yellow ochre. Remembering that the yellow ochre, I mean, so is the cad yellow, right? But the yellow ochre is not transparent. It is very opaque, right? So it means it'll want to cover more of our darkness. Look at that. Look at that cute little flowery little pops in the night just from that Paint with Josh fan brush. If you don't have yours yet, what are you doing? What are you waiting for down there? All right, let's start popping down like this. Always got to work those angles, right? That coming down from the left to the right or the right to the left, however you do it, right? Got to bring it down. Leave those dark spaces. Not everywhere's got to be as bright as everywhere else, right? What if we want to take these guys up here? Just literally smacking some yellow dot. It's like what we do with our acrylics. When we're doing the paper towels. It's literally it. It's all we're doing. It's a little bit of paper towelage back there in the night. All right, let's change brushes. Let's see what the old Gak Doctor would have done before we had our paint with Josh brushes, or if you don't have your paint with Josh brushes yet, right? Yeah. See how it's just not as sharp. I mean, this one's an old one, but just you don't get the sharpness and the oddness of the paint with Josh brushes, right? At least in my own opinion, you just don't get them. I don't know. I'm kind of biased. Yeah, sure, my name's on the brush, but that makes little difference. Out here, maybe pop in a couple. Maybe there's a bit of brightness over there too. Why not? Just coming down, just trying to fill in some spaces. Just like that. Wherever, guys, literally, wherever you want it to be. Now, what if we had just a little mini waterfall? I'm just seeing it. It's a little baby. He's a little baby back there. Just a little guy. I'm going to put a little bit of white paint on my brush. And let's say, just from out of here, we're just going to straight down. A little bit. Bang. Smallest little thing. Oh, out of the night. And into the night. We're going to pop in a couple little bits around the base. All right, let's put a little bit of our shadow back there just by mixing it up. A little touch. All right, and then we can come down and cover whatever we don't like with our land and such. Oh, he's gorgeous. Just a little cute little waterfall in the night. All right, let's get our dark mix. We'll get our burnt sienna, our Van Dyke browns. Bring them down here. We'll mix these guys up like this. Gotta have that uber dark land, especially around these swampy areas. It's very nasty, right? So we get this bit, just kind of cut it in, right, underneath, wherever we want it to be, mushing hard onto the canvas, dropping in that little bit of land area back there, right? Over here, take a little bit of that white color, just a touch. We don't need to have too much. Bang, just like that. Little bit, guys. Little things back there, right? The bigger you want it to be, the bigger you want it to be. I have a big old rock right there in the front because we absolutely can do it, right? We can do whatever we want. We can come back in with our white, maybe some yellow ochre, maybe a bit of our lighter color brown. Ooh, that was a good mix right there, Josh. All right, still a little bit too bright for me though. You guys know me, I like my dark paints. There we go. There we go, right? It's gonna be brighter, but it wasn't so bright. Come in, scrape up this guy, and let's go right around the edge. Just kind of dragging it against that darkness. Okay, have little things out there. Now that there's a little gap in between, what if we took a little touch, and I'm talking about small little bit of our liquid white, a little bit of our yellow, and just having that little bit of it, right? Come down here, start tapping in little things that live out there on top of our rocks. Little bits of greenery, some moss, some here, some there, wherever it is. Live down here, live down there, right? Again, very messy because they're all out there all crazily, right? You never kind of know what's what. There's so much green and stuff in a jungle that you don't know what is living on top of what. So just leave some spaces. That's all you really got to do. Leave a little bit of space out there in between so we can sort of tell what's happening, right? What if we had a whole other bit of rock? So I came down about right there. Right, up in the deal. And you decide when it's rock and when it becomes land, right? It doesn't all have to flow upwards. We can take this guy, pull him out over here, and just slide it back. Right? Little things. Doesn't even have to be perfect because we're out here in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Again, just drag over that dark paint, right? If you can't drag over the paint, if you find it hard to do, and you need to tap at it, just tap, 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 tap. Leave some spaces, leave some spaces. Da-da-da-da-da-da, rocks, right? Just by leaving some room in between. Don't have everything be all the same color, or I'm gonna come kick your butt. That's it. Literally it. Okay. Now we'll get a little bit of our titanium white, not the liquid white. Let's cut that guy back just a touch. There we go. Little bit. Right? We don't have to have anything too crazy. It'll look like a little river flowing out here. I'm not trying to connect, but just put a couple little bits in there. There it is. Look at it. You just look at it. There's a little river coming out of somewhere in the night. You guys. Man alive. Thank you, Emily Wilson. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the cheers, Cosmic. Would you just look at it? Oh, it's like a fairy wonderland. Swamp Thing. If I could paint a Swamp Thing, I totally would. I see the dragon head. I'm telling you. So remember, guys, this one's available over on paintwithjosh.com. It's the very first thing you're going to see. Do you see when you come to paintwithjosh.com? The very first thing you're going to run into is this painting right here. Right? Let's straighten this guy down a bit more. Woo, baby. Okay. Now we're going to take a little bit of our, let's see, we've got our 1-inch brush right here. A little bit of that cad yellow. Doesn't have to have, there's like a tiny bit of liquid white in there, but it doesn't have to be there. Right? Pull it straight down. Don't want to have too much. Right underneath our guy, right? Yank on it. Yank, yank, yank on it. That's a lot. There we go. I always go back and fix our little rivery details, right? Just like that. Now we'll have a bit of water, a little bit of reflection, and all sorts of stuff, right? But you can't just leave it looking like this. That looks a bit silly. You gotta take it and drag it sideways. Right? It's kind of pulling it sideways away from our land, feeding it towards the center of the water. Right? Not trying to make everything all exactly the same. Pull these guys down a bit more. Drag them out. They don't have to touch. We just want to get rid of the vertical streaks is literally it. Right? Now you got this green little bit of watery goodness back in here. It looks fantastic. If you wanted to, like I said, you can always come back in here and do it and then get rid of those little, redo your little area, right? All up to you. We could have done it before we put our land in. That might have been smart, but you guys know me. Pineapples in the rose garden over here. Woo! Look at that thing. It's gorgeous. If we needed to, come back in, right? A couple little bits. Just scrape them. Little things. Little odd bits. It's all you need. Little baby bits. Okay, now what if we had a little more touch of this guy? You can tap it on out here, right? Just tapping against the dark paint that's already there. You can drag it however you want it to look, guys. It's literally how it's going to look every time you go to do it, right? Each time you go to do it, how are you going to do it? Different or the same? Right, you're going to do it differently. A little bit of our titanium white. You don't need the liquid white because the liquid white is very bright down here in the jungle. We don't really have all that brightness. So that titanium white, I'm telling you, it just isn't as bright. It's not as bright. Out here, a couple little bits. Guys, honestly, you can't even do it more simply than that. And you don't even have to worry about your water. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Now, you know what? Ooh, guys, what if we did this? What if we got a bit more darkness and we made our little pond kind of wrap around over here? All right, give a little wrap around. Over here on the side. So we'll come over here, get a little bit more of our dark, and let's connect, and now start making it bigger this way. All right, so you're making that little U shape right in there. You got to put it in there if you want it to be there. It's not just going to happen by itself. We're putting in all this dark Van Dyke brown, dark sienna, right? Creating a little pathway, meaning it's tighter back here, and then they get longer and longer and longer, right? So it would have to continue out to there, mushing in the darkness, or that Van Dyke brown. This is a painting. I tend to have a lot of Van Dyke brown all the time because I don't use it very often, right? So in this painting, we're going to be using our Van Dyke brown. Whoa, man! I like that. I like it, guys. I like it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Wiggle down some of this darkness. There we go. That way it wasn't so bright underneath that little guy. Zip. Perfect. Perfect. Guys, rad. Okay, a little bit more of our brighter color. I'm going to use it very sparingly across this stuff. Just long, fast streaks, right? And that will allow it to attach randomly. If we're using slow little bits, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to look like this anyway. It's going to look like a big pile of mud if I tried to do it slow. And that's just me. If I did it slowly, I could not make it look random like that. I would try too hard to make it all the same, when our goal is to not have it all be the same. A little bit of brightness. Drag it fast. Be fast. Get out of there. Right? Put it there. Get out of there. All right. Now, what if we do, guys? Well, we're going to put a massive tree in right here for sure. All right, what if we do some bushes like right here? Like they're living right on the edge of this little guy. So, you guys, let me know. Look at this little thing. Look at this little thing. Thank you, Cosmic. Appreciate you. Let's see. Thank you, Nettie. Everybody over there on Facebook. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Put our water line right in there, though. Not along the edge down here. We wouldn't be able to see it. It'd have to be on the other side of our little foresty deal, our little jungly action bit. If we wanted to see anything else, right? And we're over there. This guy, if he gets too bright, can always pull him down. All it's going to do is just make it more green. That's not a bad thing at all. Down like that. Take it out. You can even streak some of these little guys and make them softer if you wanted to. All up to you guys, right? But now that bit of brightness looks a little odd at the very bottom, so we have to bring out our dark land. Just to get rid of that. There we go. There's a bit of something out there. Just a bit of old something out there. Living on the edge. Like Bon Jovi. Living on the edge. 100% Bon Jovi. Don't give me any other answers, thank you. All right, we're going to come in here. We're going to mix up a bit of our black and a bit of our blue, because apparently Josh didn't get any crimson out, and a bit of our brown. So let's make a very dark blackish mix with this brown, the blue, and the black. Right, and that way, you can use our the phthalo blue, the Prussian blue, whatever. Those are pretty much the two, whichever two of those you have, right? If you have cerulean blue or cyan blue, they're too bright, and they don't stay dark, okay? So, a little bit of blue back here with our phthalo blue, a little bit of black, a little bit of brown. Now, let's go into a massive brush. Just a big old monster brush, because we got to go from top to bottom on this guy. We're going to wiggle down, loading up our paint. All right, let's go full pressure onto it. Just pop out a little, beep, couple little times. A little boop, a little beep, a little here, a little there, beep. Just wherever you want it to be. It's just living right there, right? Right, and we got to walk around him to be able to get to our little waterfall off to the side. It's going to be fantastic. Now, you know what we didn't do? Oh, Josh, how could you have forgotten? We need to put a couple little branches in back there. So we're going to take our odorless mineral spirits, a little bit of our plaque, and just pop them up and out of our little dark areas, growing out there. Maybe there's one, maybe right above the dragon's head. And just pop out another little guy. You're trying to make the paint about as thin as watercolor or ink, right? We don't want it to be thick. Otherwise it won't streak off of your brush like this, right? Pop in a couple little dewars, a little here, a little there, just popping out of wherever. The more you put out there, the more realistic it's going to look, right? Because you got to have something out there holding all these little bits up. You can't just be floating branches or floating trees, floating leaves. You got to have some form of your dark tree branches in there at some point. Right? Maybe they come through, a little darker, maybe they start up there, maybe they go up here. But you got to have a couple of them out there. Is all you got to do. And then you're free to do what you want with them. Very cool. Now, let's go back, get a little bit more of our paint thinner, our odorless mineral spirits, and go back into our plaque so it's very much like ink. All right, let's come off of this guy. A couple bigger branches as we come down. And he's over here cutting through all that bright area. That's what's going to have it pop in your eyeballs. Right? Spinning the brush, rotating it, flipping it at the very end. So you get this very sharp little thing. Zip! Right? How do you want yours to look? It's exactly Now let's go down, like it's gonna dip down into the water. A couple more little bits back in here. You can do whatever you want. Just remember, if they're not into the brighter color, we're really not going to see them. So, you get to decide. Pop a couple bits off there. Now, let's get in here and do one of our little mossy trees, right? We're gonna get our brown color, our dark sienna or burnt sienna, the Van Dyke brown. Let's bring them over here. We don't want to mix them in too much with our plaque mix, right? And remember, you can get this guy if you go to paintwithjosh.com. It's right there on the front, right at the top of the page. All right, we're gonna come off this guy like this. A little bit of that darker brown, staying on the inside of our plaque outline, right? We put this whole big old shadow of a tree out here. Now we got to stay within the lines, right? And what are we doing? We're scooping up the paint, just like we always do, right? We come in here, we scoop it up. So there's a whole big chunk out there. And then we're kind of lightly touching it and moving as we go. Tap, 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 tap. Right? That's going to create a lot of textured channels of tree bark, right? It can get very nasty. See what I mean? Until there's just no more left. There's some on that side we could use. Pop that guy right there. Boom, boom, boom. You don't need to put much on the branches because the branches are already thin with that paint thinner, and it's going to be harder to put anything else on there. Now, let's go into our liquid white. A little touch, just a little dab. Go over here into our little sap green pile. Grab some of our cad yellow so we can mix up a little mossy color, very bright green color. Now we need that liquid white in there, and you can see with the Paint with Josh brush, if you don't have enough paint, your bristles split. That's what we want for this guy, because we're gonna come in here and start tapping little bits, just kind of back and forth, just kind of up the tree. However you think it would be climbing up there is all up to you. Right? Split, go up the side of the trunk, here, there, this little bit, this little action of our mossiness, right? They don't all have to stay separate. They don't all have to touch, but you get this really cool little effect as they climb up our tree in the night. Now, same thing off of our branches, that little touch, right? Just kind of out there, tapping over them, small little bit. And you have to have the right mixture. If you don't have the right mix of your sap green and liquid white and the cad yellow, right? Liquid white is the most important. If you don't have that right mix of it, it's not going to come off and stick onto your branches because they're very wet already, right? They already have that odorless mineral spirits, which is the thinnest thing that we can possibly use. So in order to put anything onto them, it has to be extra wetness. Right? A couple little bits out there. How bright you want yours to get, totally up to you. This guy. Couple taps, right? And you gotta have the smallest bit on there. Otherwise it'll try to drop too much and cover up your darkness. That's never good. Cover up the old dark spot back there. Right, tap it over here. Let's put off a little bit, just a little bit. Our little guy that's down here. And then, a couple little bits. There's a little touch. There's a guy. There's a little bit out there. Pop one over here, pop one right there. Little things, little bits of our tree that just broke off. Not every single branch can grow all the way out. We know that. Okay. Now, let's put a big old bush down in around the base of that guy. We've got a big old bush at some point. Over here. And over there. Right? How are you going to do your big old bush? Oh, look at that tree, guys. He's wicked. I like him. I like him. This one is just pulling me into its world. You had to get it. Oh, you're amazing. Thank you for that. I very much appreciate you. Thank you so much. I feel you. It's like this thing. Right? We're out here in this world. I can hear the waterfall just babbling. Is that how water babbles? I think. I'm pretty sure. Almost positive that's how the water is supposed to babble. Right? Now, let's get our big old bush brush, because we got to put something down here and kind of hide the base of this guy. Right, so we'll get that plaque mix. Let's pop up into here, right there. Okay. A couple little dudes. A couple little doers right on the edge, right? just right on top of the brown. So we're not trying to mush in too much. Now we can have some green or some little sticks, some twigs growing up out of there. It's gonna be really cool. And in order to do that, we need to get the plaque mix off of our brush and then go back. So, you, Miss Buyer of ours, or Miss, I didn't actually look at the name very well. Our purchaser, did you know that you get to name this painting right here? It is yours to name whatever you wish it to be, right? It will be all because of you and choosing a title for it. That's what happens when you get one during the live show over here on Paint with Josh, right? So, as we get closer, and we're getting pretty close to the end, people are going to start putting comments in that are going to be suggestions of what they want to title this painting, right? You know what we're going to have to do? Let's pop a little bit more. A little higher. Higher up. You got to cover over a little bit of our path back there. We can always cut it back in. But we got to cover it a little because we got to have the trees around both sides, right? So now if we came back in, we can cut through there. Then we can light it back up with our little bit of brightness that we have left. Zip, zap, zoop. Pull it around. Still gonna look like we can walk around the edge. Oh, I love this one, you guys. Okay, just clean that brush off. Then I dunked it right back into the plaque mix. And now I gotta clean it back off again. That way we can use it for our highlights and stuff, right? So, you guys start coming up with a title for this one. Our purchaser is gonna get to choose whichever title they think is the best. Right? Then they can go with that. But it's 100% up to them. I'm gonna go a little bit of my sap green. Right? Put a little bit of the sap green with the liquid white, and that way it should come off a little easier. Right? Pop in a few little dewars down here. We don't want them to be so supremely bright down around the base if we're gonna have brighter colors on the top. So we don't have too much of our brightness back there. And then let's pop in a little of our cad yellow and our liquid white, so it'll come off of our brush much easier. Much easier, guys. Over here and over there. So we need a little bit of our liquid white. I just try to get it on the top or one side of the brush, and then plunge that little guy right in here into our cad yellow, so it kind of gets out there on the end. Now, here's the secret. Less pressure, right? Very little bit of pressure out here. And turn the brush. And that way we'll have all these different things in a different shape. They can't all be exactly the same. We don't want them to all look 100% the same, right? So, a couple little bits off that guy back there. Boop, just back there in the edge. Oh, I like it. I like him, guys. But you cannot have it be the same thing. All right, cut in. There we go. Cut our little pathway in so we can walk around the edge. Oh, he's fabulous. You guys, very dark around the backside. Remember, there's not a lot of light out here in the jungle. Now, you guys know me, man. I would want to put something massive in right here, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna do a couple little sticks and twigs that come out of our little bushies over here, right? And so we can kind of pop in, roll it, pop it off, and you get this little stick right there, right? Pick up on its little edge. Over here, pick. And we pop another guy, boop, out there. A few little things. We don't want them to grow too far. We don't want them to get confused with our tree branches and stuff. But, think, just like that. Oh, it's fantastic. Woo, man alive. I like that one right there, guys. I like it. So, you got to help our purchaser come up with a title. What are we going to call this guy? Right here. Live on the show. We're going to come up with a name for it. And you might be the one person that names this painting, right? Could be you. Literally, they might choose your title. They're going to see it a million times in there. They might choose yours. I love how we left the dragon right in there. Fantastic, everybody. This one really came out cool. Just if you're asking me. That's all I gotta say. Put a little bit of touch. Come off. There we go. A little bit, just to brighten up that one little side of our stick. Just a little. There we go. Guys, isn't that amazing? That is amazing. I mean, sure, I'm a little biased. I'm the one that just painted it. But that's pretty. I like it. I like that, guys. Okay, so who is our purchaser? Let me get their name correct right here. Emerald Creek, that's a good one. That's a good one back there. Let's see. Uncle Jimmy. Do I do? What are you saying, Thor? Are you talking about me making Thor references? Do I? It's possible. I might. I could. We could so do it. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you. I love a good guy named Josh. Dragon Falls. That's a good. Golem's Retreat. I like that, Tim. Hidden Bayou. That's a good one as well. Hidden Beautiful Nights. A swan would look good, but let's see. Just getting into painting. Love your videos and peaceful and kind vibes you emulate. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. Southern Lady. I feel like there's fairies and magical creatures. Oh, by the way, let's pop in a couple fairies. Should we pop in some fairies? Not like actual fairies, but at least we'll use some little fireflies, and they'll look like little fairies, right? In the night. So we'll go right into our yellow. And with the liquid white, spin the brush, get it all nastily on there. And let's start popping in a couple little dewars. And we got a little reflection down there too. Remember, in the middle is far away. Over here, they can get a little bit taller. You don't want to have too many. All right. Up in the front, they get real big. Now you got a couple little fairies just floating around out there. Flying around, lighting up in the night. I'm going to throw the signature down here too. In that same little yellowy, liquidy, whitey mix. There we go. In the night, my friends. And since we have that color, I don't think I've ever made the birds yellow before, but they have a little yellow twinge as they fly through the forest right here. Caca! Just flying in the night. Boom. Gotta have them in every painting, no matter where we are. In the deepest depths. Or deepest, darkest jungle. Wherever we are, the birds tend to find their way inside. That looks cool, guys. I like it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I don't know about you, but Southern Lady liked it a lot. Let's see what do we got for title, guys. Thanks, Mama Llama. Appreciate it. Cosmic's like, boom with the eyeballs. Pow! Batman's break space. I like that. You want to know how I got these scars? Yeah. Some people say I sound like the Joker. Or Deadpool. Or Bill Hader. Or Jeff Goldblum, apparently. Wild World of the Dragon. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Josh. I always love seeing Joshes up there. I've never liked saying my own name, though. Like, not anything against you, Josh. I just don't like to say Josh, because it normally refers to myself, right? And but when it's to another Josh, I like it a little better. Oh, man. Holy shaving cream. That did. That did just... I need it done up a little bit. Caught some more light from the other side, you guys. Sure, guys. Now, I have another painting very similar to this guy. It was my practice painting, so it's much less, but it is up there on my store. If you like this one and you were just too late and you couldn't get it, or maybe you got a budget that's under 90, right? Because that's right where this one is. Right under 90 on our other painting, which is over here, our practice one, which I could show you if you wanted to. But in any case, this one came out fantabulous. first jungle one I did that I really love. It's fabulous. And I didn't have to add anything to it. We did it all right here live in front of you guys. So, everybody watching over on Facebook, you guys have been amazing. And I do need a device in order to keep operating, and you guys are the least amount of viewers over there. So next time, hit that share button, and let's get some more people in here so we can show them how to paint for free, right? But until I see you guys again on Facebook, it'll be Monday for Monday Night Madness. So until then, take care. Have the rest of a good day. Oh, I almost fell over. Whoa! Literally almost fell over. Okay. Guys over on YouTube, you guys are looking amazing. You're looking amazing. I've been told I have a villain's laugh. I kind of have a villain's laugh. Or a pirate's laugh. One of the two. We could be a pirate. We could be a pirate on the open seas, matey. and plunge for booty. And golden treasures galore. It's going to be fantastic. So, you guys, we got to come up with a title for this painting, and then I can show you that other jungle painting if you want to see it, but only if you want to see it. I'm not just going to shove it into your faces if you don't want to look at it. That's like an unsolicited jungle pic. Nobody wants that, right? Right. So, only if you want to see it, we'll show it to yous. What about Moonlight Magic? I like that for a chital. An old chital, you guys. That is a good one. Moonlight. Moonlight or moonlit? I'm going to have to double check now. Moonlight or moonlit? That is going to be the thing. Let's spin this guy around. Whoop. Brand new canvas. Fresh. Fresh little canvas out there. And like I said, the other one's 89. I can show it to you. It's that low because it was just a little practice guy. Doesn't have any videos or anything else that go along with it. But, here we go. What are we doing today? Is this 1692, guys? Anybody? Will you make another tonight? Asking for a friend? Sure, I can do another one. I could do another one. Let's see. Thank you, Cosmic. Appreciate it. Come over here. Let's go like that. And 1692, the year that Columbus sailed the ocean blue. What are we calling it again? I forget. Oh, somebody, was it Moonlit or Moon? Okay, Moonlit would work as well. Maybe better than, okay, so Moonlit what? Moonlit, because I forget the second word back there. I'm not very smart. Moonlit, and it was painted on 2024. We're all going to go to paintwithjosh.com while we wait with bated breath for the second word of the painting. With the bated of the breaths, magic. Moonlit magic. Excellente. You guys. Sure, guys. Really came out cool. Really came out pretty cool, if you ask me. And we just used a fan brush for the majority of it. Fan brush and a palette knife, literally. Literally. So, let's do the light party. This one's going to be wicked cool in a light party, guys. Moonlit or moonlight? Because I can probably change it if you want moonlight. But we got to tell me now. Let's see. Jade Dragon Jungle. I like that too. I like that too. Let's see. Needs a moon. Moonlit. Wait, hang on. No, thanks, Hunter. We don't go live with other people. Moonlit magic. Okay, we got it. We got it, guys. That looks really cool. Okay, so let's do an awesome light party while I clean up some of these brushes that we have left to clean, right? We're going to be doing a light party. Now, do you know what that means? Have you ever seen a Paint with Josh show before where the painting sold during the live show and you got to see the light party? Right? We're going to be flashing the screen with a lot of colors. A lot of different colors at a very fast rate of speed. So, if you are sensitive to flashing lights or something like that, then you need to turn your phone away from your face. Right now, here's your warning. Right? I'm warning you that we're going to be experiencing some flashing, okay? So, if you're sensitive to that, turn your phone away for about a minute. But I'll tell you, with my voice, that it's okay to look back. Right? when it is in fact okay to light that. Now, if you choose to stay for the light party and give up all liability of flashiness sensitivity, then I need you to type in the words "I'm ready" into the comments box. Type in the word "I'm ready," and then I want you to tell me the first thing that flashes for your eyeballs, because it's gonna flash like crazy. Not ready. Cosmic. Are you ready, guys? We're ready. All right, here we go. We're gonna turn this one down. We're gonna start the light party in 3. Oh, are we serious? I never put the lights on. Guys, I'm glad I found out now. There we go. Hey, does that look a little bit brighter? There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go with the light party in 3, 2, 1. Light party! What flashes the most for you? Looks like the fireflies don't flash at all. Maybe one quick like blip, and then they're back. What's flashing the most for you? The waterfall. You got the leaves, got the water, got the branches, got the flowers, right? The waterfall, the mist. The mist in the night. In the night. All right, so the light party's now concluded, so if you're sensitive to flashing, then you can now look back because we're all set and ready and back to normal light. But now we're going to do something that we call, I know, I was seeing the rocks too, you guys. Everyone was saying rocks back there. Samesies. I was seeing those rockies too. Now, we're going to do something that we call the RGB party. It means we're going to turn the lights to all red and then all green, which it'll look very similar to what it does right now. And then all blue. But I want you to tell me which one is your favorite, okay? Red, green, or blue? Going red in 3, 2, 1, red. Oh, look at it. Just totally changes it up. We should do a jungle in a red light challenge just to see what it would look like. Thanks, Barbara. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. All right, that's red. We're going to go blue, green in 3, 2, 1, green. Looks very similar to what it does under our normal lighting conditions, right? Very similar. God, the more you look at it, the more green it gets. We're going blue in 5, 4, 3, blue. Or 2. Man, that just got dark. That got dark fast, didn't it? Ooh. I love it. All right, now we're going to cycle back to our normal lighting conditions. So we're all back. Which one did you guys like the most? Did you like the red? Did you like the green? Or did you like the blue? I like the red. Red for me always. Doesn't matter what scene it is. Red always. We got the original. We got green. Green this time. Blue is my favorite. I feel you. Red on this one. I dig it. I dig it, guys. It came out really cool. Really, really, really cool. Really cool. So, you guys over on YouTube, you've been amazing. I gotta end the stream, and then we'll probably fire back up over on TikTok if you're gonna watch over there, and just redo another one of these. So I'm not gonna have another YouTube tutorial of the same kind of a painting, right? Right on top of each other. Unless it's a seascape. Shut up. I love seascapes. So I'll paint a seascape every night, but except for tonight. But I love you guys. Thank you all for being here and tuning in and watching and hitting the share button and just hitting the like button. That just helps so much to just hit the like button over on YouTube. So beyond that, you guys have been amazing. I can't wait to come back. We'll do it again on Monday for Monday Night Madness. And until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And blah, blah. It's over.